afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods. Right after we've got a bit of a patch there from Relic, all of a sudden, changed a few buildings on a map, fixed an exploit, and then buffed the AC Mark III, making it a lot more effective versus Infantry, which of course the big question is, was that really necessary? But we got Obscura here fighting for the Commonwealth, for King and County, for the 7th Armoured with Vanguard Operations Commander Regiment, Royal Indian Regiment versus Jesulin's Osttruppen, Mobile Defense and Lightning Wall, forming up here the 2nd Panzer Division. In terms of bulletins, we do have for large infantry, although several machine gun bulletins there for Jesulin, Pioneer, MG42, Grenadier, pretty standard stuff there. Obscura was double section and a universal carrier there, quickly following up, pushing down hard the east, whereas Jesulin does seem to be spreading out a bit more across the map, hitting several sort of points that way. Interesting enough, he's always a bit more the risky. In fact, he's playing a very risky game here with the MG42, pushing it down the west. No support, no scouts, no nothing. So there's a very high chance of something going horribly wrong here for Jesulin if he's not careful. Meanwhile, Obscura continuing here, very focused up the east. We've got Sandbags being laid down there. So section plough through the little shallow waters. Universal Carrier following up there. Grenadiers creeping up. Pioneers also seems like they're falling a bit back. Perhaps realise there's going to be a main point of resistance. Jesulin, for the time being, backs off, decides not to tease the British bulldog, but instead, go other ways, prepare for fights further down the road. We got a Vickers on the way there for Obscura. For Jesulin, we got a sniper, a sharpshooter, a man with a rifle and a mission to kill as many Tommies as possible from as far away as possible. MG42, they're hiding away, grabbing a few. Point in that sense, he's been very lucky that Obscura focused on the east here, not on the west. Otherwise, Jesulin here could have encountered some pretty stiff resistance, and there could have been a small chance of actually losing the MG42 there to Obscura, which would have been a very rough start. Either way, securing the west instead, and a bit the centre here. Obscura is taking this surprisingly cautiously. He's not rushing ahead either. He, could have pushed a pick a bit more aggressive as Jesulin, so been aware of the situation, but so far he's playing very much at his own pace, not really sort of trying to break any records in army invasions. Pioneers being out there, sniper arrives, comes from the more safer spot there. And MG42 continues to grab territory, ever on watch for any British Schweinhunden that might decide to push into the territories of the Reich. Second gun is going on the way for Jesulin, more infantry slowly being added, sharpshooter slowly moving up, and there we go. The Tommies have been sighted. Shoot! Shoot, Helmut! Yeah, there we go. And there we go. Sergeant Wilhelm and his men move forwards, heading down the section there, past the trees and broken stumps. Herr Feldwebel, it's not too easy shooting a K98K on the move. Just shut up and shoot. Try anyways. There we go, we got the Universal Carrier with the Vickers K on the way, increasing its firepower notably versus infantry. More Grenadiers moving up there. MG42 still hanging about here. In fact, seems to sort of be holding up there around a slightly vital point. Pioneers out in the west. Do we any take up there for Jesulin? No, for Obscura. We have there, in fact, we have the platoon command post, and most likely we will be seeing the armoured car eventually, though first getting a sapper team there on the way. Grenadiers for sniper support here, trying to keep the sniper cover, but at the same time pressure anything that could otherwise, threaten the infantry. But there you go, the biggest K doing a lot of damage there on that Universal Carrier, going for the centre here with another section, which is already in a pretty rough condition, so a bit risky. And we got the Vickers, otherwise the other Vickers covering this area in a slightly curious manoeuvre, not sort of trying to push forward other troops. And there you go, section alone, helps now moving in. There you go, forced retreat. Obscura realises he's actually put them in a pretty bad position and decides to retreat before he loses any men insensibly. Sabbaty moving up there with the Sten guns. There, submachine guns, and there you go. Pantherfast getting the Universal Carrier. Going to need the sapper then to fix that up. Obscura is yet to sort of try and maybe, going for that AEC, or maybe in a quick bluff go for a buff force and perhaps throw his opponent off with that. I've certainly seen some players do that. Universal Carrier pulling away across the muddy waters. Section hanging about for reinforcements, sappers moving in. Up here, section ring against the Pioneers, getting a few hits. Needs to be careful of that sniper up. Looks like the sniper sort of operating where the grenadiers there. MG42 remains here. Jesulin is very much intent on keeping this area covered. Pioneers seem to be losing out. They could perhaps see a wipe there that to hurt Jesulin a bit. Pretty mildly. I know some of that, and sniper on the way for Obscura in response most likely to Jesulin's sniper. Counter that bastard, of course, in a moment from that. Of course, we just try and rush him with the scout gun and even improve scout gun, but looks like Obscura does prefer the shoot the sniper with another sniper approach. Grenadiers up in the open rest of the section there, not quite in cover, so doesn't quite get the bonus there, meaning Grenadiers will have a better chance. They do pull up, but now already down to 2 men low on health. I don't feel they got much of a chance unless he resets grenades, and I don't think that's going to happen. There you go, Grenadiers pushed away by the Vickers Kit and the Sappers. Obscura, we have got still nothing there. Alternating two of his infantry bulletins are specifically commando bulletins. MG42 there, fine revealed. Holds a section pretty much brusquely, then he steps, and note what he then does, he immediately proceeds to shift it to another position, ensuring that Obscura can't just quickly form a little plan to deal with it, instead, leaving it as an unknown, and possibly something, if he expects to hit it there, he says it's going to be like, well, where's the MG42, become cautious, and so perhaps run into it elsewhere, being slowed down that way.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to
6-pounder gun away for Obscura, worried about Jesulin picking up vehicles and armor. So far, Jesulin's gone for mobile defense, but he is yet to tag up, he's yet to sort of move ahead. In fact, he's going for a third Grenadier squad, taking a much longer and heavier tier 1, which is an interesting decision considering a lot of British players are currently experimenting with the AEC, and he's in that sense actually himself quite vulnerable to it. But I suppose with seeing his snipers and such, he might be figuring his opponent isn't trying to rush for it. In that case, he might be able to take it a bit more easily. In fact, Obscura has yet to requisition it in the first place, so I mean that does give him some options there. Little bastards. Grenadiers moving in, trying to swoop in from there. Got troops moving up the centre, double sections, supporting each other. We got one there with the first 8 kits. Plenty of fuel for Obscura. In fact, he would probably soon go straight for the company command post instead if he wants to. Skip the armoured car completely. And there you go, flanks with the universal carrier. A hailstorm of bullets engulfing the Grenadiers. Sniper there bleeding away at the Tommies. Ah, nice shooting. Ah, scheiße, who am I talking to? Everybody else occupied this fighting. Got the point, the MG42 remains. They're ever vigilant, ever patient, ever stoic. 6-pounder gun on the move there. Universal coming up.
He's trying to take a point from us.
And the whole 6-pounder and such thing basically refers to the size of the shell the gun fired. The British sticking to an older system. Whereas most by that time they sort of more referring to the actual caliber of the gun, but the British stuck to what sort of size the shell had and weighed. Little fun fact there. More Grenadiers on the way for Jesulin, so he's going pretty heavy in the infantry. He's still, oh he has ticked up, but he's yet not really doing anything with it. Interesting. Oh, we finally got the requisition as well. Both players are sort of I think, sort of slow to get anywhere. Whereas Jesulin just really confident somehow, and again his opponent's not going to get an armoured car up before he can get out a Puma, which is, 3 command points off. I mean, he could be thinking, he's going to use the Puma as his sort of primary counter to the AC, which is a bit risky considering, again, British tier 2 tech is very fast, and if Obscura had been faster, he could easily have the scout crowd, I think, 2 to 3 minutes ago, which would have placed a lot more pressure on Jesulin, and oh, good lord, by Jove. Easter's man is an Ostrom calling with double light machine guns. Clearly the fatherland favours Jesulin in this engagement. Calling up with Sirs with a lot of light machine guns. Universal Care there flanking, got the sniper as well here nearby. Grenadiers in negative cover, going to get shredded there by Vickers. And sniper there could also not, in fact we could see the Grenadiers getting wiped if Jesulin's not careful. And there we go at the same time. I think he missed an opportunity there actually. Not shooting with the sniper as all. He was trying to hope, probably bait it in, but at this point I think he's already seen it. due to them being a bit too close. They're out in the open too much, so the surprise momentum has been lost either way, though. We do have the AC Mark III out. Ready to open up there with this newly improved 75mm gun. Bit of shooting there, so far not a good hit. But it has a notably bigger splash damage, and there you go, Sergei falls dead. But I was told they only have armor-piercing rounds.
A capture point is being overrun.
Got another shot.
Orders? Someone's shooting us!
Ooh, was that into the open? Decent hit there, did some damage, down to half health. Up north we got the few upon there falling to the Grenadier, pack 40 on the way there for Jesulin, obvious response there to the AC. Realising, you know, he might have been a bit too slow. And of course can't just wait for the Puma to arrive. Provide a little show. But Obscura seems to sort of now giving up on the fuel points in the east and west either way, and sort of focusing more on the centre, which does give Jesulin more of a chance to actually control the fuel points and thusly get a large resource advantage over Obscura. If Obscura's not careful, you got Savage running up, and there's still no doctrine away from Obscura. Nothing at all. Going for the cut-off point. And again, note once you at the MT42, they further shifted back a bit. But in this case, he's actually just cutting it off. That is certainly one way of doing AC here, hunting down the Grenadiers. At least, at the same time, no, he's not quite keen to sort of go directly in after him. He's worried about a Panzerfaust. There might be something, maybe, you know, knock it out if he's not careful. So in that case, Obscura might be waiting for some sort of flush out the Grenadiers, we're hoping. So you just have them sneak out and then blast them into oblivion. Sniper still not really. He's still really he's shot one, but he's still hoping to catch a sniper with it. It's a bit of a standoff there. Either side hoping for the other bastard to, you know, poke his head out before filling up with. Oh no, he's going to lose that universal carrier. Yeah, that was a bit of a misclick there, I think, by Obscura. And there we go. Jesulin brings up the response. He really wants the faster, nimble Sonderkraftfahrzeug 234 -2. Not so certain in German. The Puma. There you go. AC down to half health already. Needs to pop a smoke twin, of course has that. So now Puma has to push. We got Pantherfast up there at the same. We got the 6-pounder gun here which could cover the retreat. Puma fires, misses by a narrow margin. There we go, straight into the 6-pounder gun, needs to pop smoke. Schnell, Helmut! Section hang about there. Ooh, could be trying to flank in them at the same time as AC moves in the other direction. Bit of intensity up there, we got sappers that can spring out again. Springing the trap upon the unsuspecting sappers. And we got another sapper team on the way for Obscura to help repair, I imagine.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Puma needs to go with some repairs, of course he needs to Obscura himself also needs to get that AC repaired. And we got a doctrine here, it is raid operation opening up. Well, Vanguard, but it does have raid operation, always a handy ability, can allow him to sort of quickly grab a lot of territory, also works quite nicely with harassment. Again, it is a very good ability with 50 munitions, but a lot of players I find tend not to use it at all, which I do think it's a bit of a mistake, since again it is very potent, it is very effective, and again it can do a lot for you if properly utilised. And meanwhile, we actually got Jesulin using counter-attack tactics, which costs 35 munitions but only allows you to grab territory faster once it's been rendered neutral. So slide up there to Jesulin. There we go, you can see just zoom. Very fast there, we're talking like a few seconds, he's grabbed a neutral point, so it's actually quite a potent ability. And again, this one basically works both rendering a neutral, but also then taking it. You can see that's about 70, I mean he's even getting it at a discount. Well, 35, but you know, if you sort of consider both abilities, it would be about 70 munitions. There's also, of course, the Upper Command Burst version. Anyway, Puma moving ahead, engaging, back 40 supporting, but all the actions here in the east now. Grenadiers trying to hold back, but too much firepower being let in. Then we got a 6-pounder gun sniper here versus the Puma. And there you go, yes, plastering shots away there. Pioneer supporting. Needs to just flank here the Grenadiers, but he must be worried there's a pack 40 hiding up here in the northern woods, which could, of course, quickly knock it out. Otherwise, quick push down. Oh dear, Jesulin made a mistake there. took the 6-pounder guns too lightly, and he lost his Puma. A tragic loss there for Jesulin. Leaves him with less options there for actually dealing with the AC. Just for the meat given out in terms of damage, Obscura's ahead in terms of kills. Obscura's ahead, so that's definitely meaning Obscura here's got a bit of a lead, despite perhaps not quite having pushed it as much as Hart there. And something you can see there in just terms of losses there, it's just a bit further ahead there. Territorially though, Jesulin's ahead, so in that sense, the losses and damage certainly perhaps is more of an extension again of having to hold more territory, the more hold. Generally you'll sort of have to pay a higher price for it unless your opponent is a bit inept. So that's a little detail there. In terms of army value, they're actually very close there. In fact, Obscura's been hit a few times here, but now seems to be very close, except right here, Puma, dead. In terms of points held again, we can see here, Jesulin a bit better ahead here. But it's not been completely without any resistance there from Obscura, although right now we can sort of see again, they're sort of dipping each other directions, even of course as the Puma went down. So what is sort of the situation? I mean, for Obscura, he definitely should consider getting up some weapon racks. He's got plenty of means. In fact, he does have to get up some light machine guns, lots of them, pressure the German infantry that way, because Jesulin's got a lot of light machine guns himself. He's got a lot of those lovely LMG-42s ready to deliver a righteous hailstorm of death towards anyone that would oppose the Third Reich. So, I mean, really, Obscura needs to sort of challenge that, and light machine guns, Bren guns are definitely one of the better ways of doing so. So the faster you can do that, the better. Bolstered action sections would also do a lot towards, just further making him stronger there versus Jesulin, so that's definitely also something he should consider. But otherwise, using raid operation, quickly taking territory, grabbing it, and just more aggressive harassment there versus Jesulin trying to flank more with a scout car once he's attained where the anti-tank gun is, trying to strike elsewhere, do damage. And of course, remember, not only again is this cheaper and allows you to take and render points neutral, it also applies to vehicles. I mean, again, it's an absolutely ridiculously potent ability just for 50 munitions. So again, I mean, you can just really do a lot of damage that way in terms of economics, but so far Obscura doesn't quite seem to be pushing it very hard. You can of course also consider throwing in a forward logistics glider, getting out officers, commandos, and clearly he's intending that, since otherwise you wouldn't have 2 commando bulletins just to get that 10% cooldown there, and the submachine guns just sort of get them even more lethal versus Jesulin's infantry. Otherwise, either you should consider taking up sooner afterwards as well, or throw in another armoured car. I mean, they're pretty decently potent, and 2 of them should actually be able to sort of threaten even a medium tank, and of course do plenty of damage to the infantry. So throwing another armoured car right now wouldn't be an exactly bad idea there for Obscura. He might even force Jesulin to sort of throw more Pumas, which of course couldn't further delay any other tech response and further throw an advantage there to Obscura. So that's something there to consider for Obscura as well. For Jesulin, tech up for starters, get out some Panzers, go for the Supremo, I think, get out some Panzer IV, some Stug, some Austrians, strike at Obscura and do as much damage, consider some mines here and there. Infantry-wise, I don't think more is needed, it's just armour that is needed. He could in theory go for tier 3, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the best plan there. Depends, of course, also a bit on what Obscura does. I mean, if Obscura's late in taking up, so then you're pushing any kind of advantage which he currently has. I mean, Jesulin could very well might make it work, but it's a bit risky still. It's a bit risky. Well, let's keep more pressure and try to sort of hit the Obscura's flanks, try to avoid charging straight into the anti-tank. If we can knock out, of course, the AC, that would be good. He could try for another Puma, but that's certainly make it a bit more risky to go straight for tier 4 unless he goes for a few fuel caches. So let's return to the fight and see what happens. 6-pounder gun being pushed back. There's the Austrian advance, light machine guns in hand.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
As for a command tank, I don't think there's much reason for Jesulin to sort of benefit from that at the moment. I mean, he could go for it, but again, depending on what Obscura does, it could easily find itself hard countered. The command tank generally needs other tanks to really be properly potent. Otherwise, I do feel to some extent it does fall too short. Jesulin taking at the centre, Pioneer's here, section needs to fall back, and again he needs to upgrade his troops with Bren guns, get some machine guns out there. Hell, there's sappers too. As many light machine guns as Obscura's man can carry, he should just get out there, and of course remember to use raid operation again. Really good ability, and certainly, I mean, now with the armoured car being better, it just becomes even better ability. Interestingly enough, and I do find this is a bit less good, I mean, he's really just been keeping the Vickers all the time. He's not even saying trying too much to just defend his fuel point. I mean, I'm not saying, if... I'm generally always a bit, skeptic of just keeping a vehicle on machine gun anytime, so you can generally always benefit a bit more from using aggression, and sometimes, of course, depending on the situation, of course, you want to keep a sort of a static place, but the problem is, there's just not much fighting happening here, so it's just a waste of me saying you're close to a fighting point, you know, again, a real threat and vital area, sure, but here, it's not like there's going to be a lot happening there, but more decisive, for example, around the fuel point. Could do a lot more there for Obscura than he does here. I mean, sure, Jesulin's also keeping an MD42 all the way over here, but I mean, that's a fuel point. The only thing that hasn't really happened that is, again, Jesulin has been pressing, or Obscura hasn't been pressing much there. We got the glider out, still no attempt here at raid operation despite having the resources for it. We got some Bren guns finally on the way, took him bloody long enough. We also got the air landing officer out here, spiffing, armed with submachine guns, ready to show those Huns what for. Who's pushed back here and wiped. Sapper team utterly annihilated here by Grenadier Ostrom Force. And falling a bit back here, we've got another Grenadier Ostrom Force there, mixed infantry moving ahead. Striking for the centre, this is the officer. Oh dear, getting shredded there with a light machine gun fire, just charging ahead, but get a go rifle grenade off as well. Failed to make much of an impression. Light gun bomb here. Oh, sniper hit, good, good. Light gammon bomb. Oh no, too slow there, and got just wiped out there. That was not too well handled there by Obscura, that was just a waste of the officer. At least he's equipping more of his troops with Bren guns, which is a plus, but I'd still like to see, you know, a bit of raid operation. Again, really good ability. So underestimated. Then again, the British have so many good abilities they just never use. It's quite depressing. Veteran one there, 3 kills. And there you go, Grenadiers versus Bren guns, light cover versus light cover. And there you go, Veterans 3. Grenadiers are definitely a bit of trouble though. We've got the sniper there, capture the tight. Mine goes off, wiping out the entire Ostrom squad. I think that was a pretty good investment there for Obscura. And that was with a light machine gun too. That's not something Jesulin's just going to easily overcome, and certainly not quite easily pay off for itself. And he actually jolly well went for the heavy Panzer Corps. Now that's a bit of a surprise, considering what's against him. Going for the Panzerwerfer there. Nothing further here. Oh, we finally got take up there for Obscura. He can actually go for Cromwell pretty soon. He just, if he feels cocky, go for Centaur. Just strike at the infantry. Still, he needs to strike at the fuel point now. I mean, he's been surprised he's not really trying to do much there. And hell, he can just move up the AC, use raid operation, have it blast away while grabbing the fuel point at the same time. Overall, Jesulin was able to control the fuel points quite well, and Obscura hasn't quite, I feel, contested him severely enough in this, which, I mean, it does give Jesulin a large fuel advantage and can actually ensure that this push for the heavy Panzer Corps works out quite nicely when he's been able to control the fuel points so quite nicely here. Finally got the AC moving in there. Grenadiers down to 1 man, desperately holding on there. She killed everyone, but I'll kill some in return with this MD4. Oh, scheiße. Armored car. Yeah, I'm out of here. Tell the Führer I said I'm sorry.
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
There you go, moving in, striking into the base. Huns under fire there. Good lord, Huns with guns! Terrible stuff. And there we go, we got a response here. Jesulin clicks the panic button, calls up a Puma. The situation is dire. And the Puma misses. Impressive. But there you go, Obscura calling out his own arm, and now we got the Cromwell tank on the way. Eastern points have been lost. He's cut off the western fuel pump, but the eastern one will soon become German. Christ almighty, they blew up a barrel! What kind of insane firepower do the Germans have? I wasn't told about this in boot camp. This is terrible. Also, so far he's yet to unleash his Panzerwerfer on any target. I'm guessing Jesulin's waiting for a good target rather than just, blind firing, hoping to catch something by sheer luck, which certainly indicates he might be a bit of a sharper artilleryman than most. We just tend to sort of shoot it into the dark, hoping it hits something. Obscura is still flowing a lot of munitions there. He could easily go for more mines and get a lot more Bren guns. I mean, he's controlling both munitions points quite nicely, but it's just, well, nothing's really following up there. Not in terms of abilities, not in terms of upgrades, really. It's not quite, like he's utilising the huge munitions, hump he's got there. Sabotaging what they can there with the Bren guns, laying down a volley there against the Huns, but they are a bit outgunned here. They can't hold forever. Grenades could also have been quite handy. I'm also surprised it's not trying to just move up here. I mean, there's a nice little fence you can drag through and just shoot them there. It does feel a bit odd like they're from Obscura. Meanwhile, we've got the Cromwell here applying some serious pressure on the right flank. He can shift out the Vickers, grab some territory there while he then moves in the Cromwell. In fact, he could strike into the base, they'll do some damage. Panzerwerfer finally unleashes a barrage, strikes, gets the 6-pounder gun there. Looks like he found the prey he was hunting for and annihilated it. Ooh, almost got a bunker there actually. Well, decides not to further pressure Jesulin within his own base. Instead, perhaps sort of trying to flank in here. But Jesulin is quick to react, realising perhaps there's a potential of that. So the 6-pounder gun, Grenadiers, Sniper. Looks like Obscura is quite keen to push in there. There you go, AC moving up there. 6 kills for King and Country. Cromwell needs to pull back, got pack fire there, and he's called in another glider. Seems.
We have 300 points
Oh no,
remaining.
it's still the same one. But he's getting commanders out. Sappers reinforcing. Veterans who won there, so they also get the cover bonus there. Which just makes the Bren guns even better. They're going to almost right there. AC and section they're doing well, but without Bren guns. Really needs more of them.
Who's ready to go?
Guns Baggett. Reports are called out for the radio. Perhaps a bit sputtered. There you go, lots of Bren guns here. Veterans who flee section. Kibble doing up there. Oh god, the sniper! I don't think he really did as much damage as Jesulin. So ultimately, the sniper I think was a bit of a miss there by Obscura. He just had, constant snipe there. I think on Jesulin, I think he'd done a lot more with it. And perhaps pressured Jesulin a lot more. He's finally got a fuel point again though, and perhaps he can actually stabilise this one a bit better. I'm still surprised he's not doing much with his Vickers. I mean, it's not really seen a lot of action. And that thing might as well be home guard for all that matters. Oh, good lord. Another devastating barrage there. Jesulin likes to get up close and personal and unleash a volley, a burst of rockets. Commandos very quickly ran into some resistance, got knackered out. He could, if he wants to, try and throw in some Bren guns on them, but only throw in some there with their commando ambush bonus, but of course it's only cut up the close range fire for a bit. Section hitting what they can. Sniper fire though, and Grenadiers could cause a bit of problem there. No support.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Now, control-wise, Obscura doesn't quite seem to get those advantages even despite having them. And again, raid operation really could just allow them to control the map so much more efficiently, but it's just not happening. If we compare with Jesulin, he's so far utilised, well, 4 out of 5 abilities, and Obscura in comparison has used, well, the glider. It's not like Vanguard is, doctrine with a lack of utility. You got vehicle crew repairs, you got raid operation, you got the gliders, you got the airstrike, you got the crocodile. I mean, that is probably one of the best doctrines in the game. Not just something you're not to use, but again, you'd be surprised how many people just never utilise the full extent of Vanguard. There we go, Veteran 2 there on the AEC. Increased mobility. It's eventually it sort of becomes more accurate and has fires faster and turns the turret faster. Alright, 9 kills. I mean, it's certainly a lot more lethal now. At the same time, it's perhaps not so lethal. There we go, command wing section, they're getting cut down by the Osthuben. I mean, at the same time though, Jesulin's Engie Forge isn't hardly doing much more either. I mean, it might as well have been stationing Denmark for all the action it's seeing. Sniper there, gets off a good hit on the commanders. Still push on, there we go, we got tank striking in, we got the Cromwell, we got the AC moving in here, full assault here. Commanders that are already poofed up. There we go, Ostrom wiped. Quick out of pack 40, Veteran 2, it's on the run already. Sniper dead, Sniper dead. Another Cromwell on the way here for Obscura. Almost got it, getting a bit too focused up in just a few gun members. Got gunners moving up with their Panzer. Now pulled back the Cromwell right in front of the pack 40. Trying to avoid the Panzerfaust. He ends up taking more damage. He still has knocked out the anti-tank, but no. We got a strike here from the RAF trying to get after the Panzerwerfer. Pack 40 down, Grenadiers suppressed. But both vehicles are starting the base while the Panther is on the way here. An interesting development here. Gonna need just suffering here. Could try and just knock out the banker, for example. There you go. Half. Close effective flee there. Close effective to flee. And he's taking punishing casualties even there's a reinforcing in the base. Men rush out, only to get cut down the base. Plus, of course, we've got more strikes there from the RAF. More men gunned down in the open. And they've almost got a wipe there. Almost. Sliver of help. No. Oh. Helmut, you lucky bastard. Another kill there.
To steal our sector.
So close to Exxon defeat. But there you go. Panther arrives. Obscura's armoured vehicles are not in a position to respond to this. They're simply already damaged. He rushed in with no support, no anti-tank and to provide coverage there. Obscura right here, might have gotten a bit overconfident. There you go. Veteran defeat with the scout car's almost down. The Panther is, oh dear, he can't use his primary advantage here, which would have been the speed. Of course, the fact here again, you know, this one could also use some target threats. He can just knock out the Panther by flanking, but he can't flank them. He drove in there, got Panzerfausted. And now he's, well, he lost the armoured car, and he's about to lose the Cromwell too.
Firing on our HQ.
And his other Cromwell got Panzerfausted too, a hit of mine. Oh dear, and there you go, Obscura surrenders, realising he's rather squandered his opportunity. So an interesting fight in some senses. We've got to see a new armoured car in action. I think Obscura could have pushed for it faster and perhaps had another one out. I think both players though had the machine gun perhaps a bit too bad, but overall I think Obscura mostly. I mean, again, for Jesulin keeping an MD-14 in their fuel point does make sense, but at the same time though, it ended up not being too utilised because Obscura never really have asked very much. And again, Vanguard is very much suited for it thanks to radar vision. Again, it could have a few scarlet cars out constantly just pushed at Jesulin's territory. Brand guns, you could easily have more often more mines. I mean, the one mine he did have knocked down an entire Ostrom squad. So it's not like, you know, they didn't do anything for him when he had them. Overall, though, Obscura needs to make more use of the docks, and I think that was basically one of his bigger mistakes. Some other issues here and there will rather undercut him, but just not fully utilising the doctrine and not fully utilising, you know, the resources available to him. Jesulin in comparison, I think could have gone for tier 3, but ultimately it did pay off here with the heavy Panzer Corps. Had not Obscura marked up with the scout kind of tank there in the end, the whole thing could have looked a lot more different there for Jesulin. That could have been GG. He should have instead gone for support armor corps, so a bit lucky there. MB-42 could perhaps be used to the more aggressive support troops, but overall, again, I can't really argue. Again, you're defending your fuel point at all time, but I mean, he might have benefited a bit more with that, or perhaps throwing in another MB-42 for support. So there'll be an interesting match here. We got to see some of the new power of the AC, but overall, an interesting match here between the two higher ranked players, obviously. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you different matches. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a replay on the some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, thank you for watching, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye.